The Asian Individual Chess Championships 2025 Open Round 2 witnesses a strategic Queen's Gambit declined 3 knights variation as Iniyan faces Wang. On d4. Knight f6. On c4. On e6. Knight f3. On d5 leads us into Queen's Gambit declined 3 knights variation. Knight c3. Bishop e7. On takes d5. On takes d5. Bishop f4. On c6. On e3. Bishop f5. Knight h4. Threatening knight takes f5. Bishop e6 played by Wang. Bishop d3. King castled kingside. Knight f3. Knight h5. Queen c2. It is novelty move. Threatening bishop takes h7 check. On g6 played by Wang. On h3. Rook e8. Bishop h2. Bishop d6. Knight e5. Knight g7. On g4. On f6. Threatening pawn takes e5. Knight f3 played by Iniyan. Bishop takes h2. Rook takes h2. Queen d6. Rook g2. Knight d7. On h4. On c5. On takes c5. Knight takes c5. On h5. Knight takes d3 check. Queen takes d3. On takes h5. On takes h5. King h8. King castled queenside. Iniyan is looking to play. Knight d4. Queen e5. Knight takes e6. Knight takes e6. Queen takes d5 and establish a winning position. Knight f5 played by Wang. King b1. Rook ac8. Rook gg1. Knight e7. King a1. Iniyan wants to play. Knight g5. On takes g5. Queen d4 check. King g8. Rook takes g5 check. Knight g6. On takes g6 and dominate the board. Queen b6 played by Wang. Knight d4. Iniyan might go for. Knight takes e6. Queen takes e6. On a3. On a6. On h6. Rook g8. Rook takes g8 check. Knight takes g8. Rook h1 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop f7 played by Wang. Queen e2. Rook g8. Queen f3. Queen d6. Rook h1. Queen e5. Knight ce2. On a6. Knight f4. On b5. Rook c1. Queen d6. Knight fe6. Iniyan is planning to play. Queen takes f6 check. Rook g7. Queen takes g7 mate and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen e5 played by Wang. Wang wants to play. Bishop takes e6. Knight takes e6. Queen takes e6. On h6. Rook takes c1 check and take decisive advantage. Knight c5 played by Iniyan. Iniyan might go for. Knight d7. Rook takes c1 check. Rook takes c1. Queen g5. Knight takes f6 and seizes the initiative. Queen d6 played by Wang. On a3. Rook g7. Knight ce6. Bishop takes e6. Queen takes f6. Rook takes c1 check. Rook takes c1. Knight g8. Threatening knight takes f6. Rook c8 played by Iniyan. Threatening knight takes e6. Queen e7 played by Wang. Threatening queen takes f6. Queen takes e6 played by Iniyan. Queen takes e6. Knight takes e6. Rook g2. On f3. Rook f2. Rook f8. Rook h2. Knight f4. Threatening knight takes d5. King g7 played by Wang. Threatening king takes f8. Rook a8 played by Iniyan. Threatening knight takes d5. Knight f6 played by Wang. Rook a7 check. King g8. Rook takes a6. Knight takes h5. Rook h6. Rook h1 check. King a2. Knight g3. Stop here and find the strongest move for Iniyan. Rook takes h1 is logical continuation as knight takes h1. King b3. King f8. King b4. King e7. King takes b5. Iniyan have small advantage. Let's explore the main line. Threatening rook takes h5. Knight g3 played by Wang. Rook h5. Think carefully what is the best move for Wang. Knight takes h5 is the right idea because knight takes d5. Rook h3. On f4. Rook f3. On a4. Pawn takes a4. Wang have small advantage. Let's explore the main game. Threatening rook takes h6. Rook h5 creates serious weaknesses in the position. Played by Iniyan. Iniyan is preparing to play. Rook g5 check. King f7. Rook takes g3 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook h4 loses position. Played by Wang. Threatening knight takes h5. Rook takes h4 played by Iniyan. Knight h1. Wang fought hard but ultimately had to concede defeat.